Before we get started with our handwriting activity, let's go ahead and skywrite our letter E and R. There's E, and there's R. Remember, you can skywrite. Hey everybody, welcome to week 3, day 4 reading for handwriting. We are going to have a review of the letters that we have already learned how to write using our skyline, our plain line, our grass line, and our worm line. You are welcome to pause anytime you need to for practice. I'm going to write each letter twice. So we are going to start with the letter T. The letter T is a skyline letter. That means it starts on the skyline. And we are going to go down to the grass line. So let me show you what that looks like. Skyline, down to the grass line. So we just have a line. And then you're going to cross it on the plain line. And that is your letter T. All right, I'm going to do that one more time. Start on the skyline, all the way down to the grass line, cross it at the plain line. You can practice this as many times as you would like. Now we are going to review letter B. Letter B is also a skyline letter. So it starts on the skyline, just like this, and goes down to the grass line, tracing up to the plain line, and then a curve back to the grass line. So that's our letter B. Let's make one more for a review. Start at the skyline, down to the grass line, trace back up to the plain line, and around to the grass line. B, bat, B. Now we are going to practice writing the letter F. The letter F is also a skyline letter. It starts on the skyline up here. And then we are going to trace back on the skyline just a little bit and then down to the grass line and cross it at the plain line. Kind of like letter T, but you have your curve. You can add a little bit more up here as well. That's just part of the directions. So let's go ahead and do that again. Starting at the skyline, tracing back to the skyline a little bit, and way down to the grass line, cross at the plain line. And that is letter F. F, fun, f. Moving on to our letter N. N is a plain line letter, so it starts on the plain line. So here's where we're going to start. On the plain line, down to the grass line, trace back up to the plain line, make a hump, and back down to the grass line. All right, let's do that again. Starting at the plain line, going down to the grass line, trace back up to the plain line, make a hump, and go down to the grass line. Moving on to the letter M. M is also a plain line letter. It starts on the plain line. So here's our plain line. We're going to go down to the grass line, back up to the plain line like we do with N, curve down to the grass line again, and make another hump up to the plain line and back down to the grass line. And there is letter M. Keep in mind that it starts the same way N does, you just add another hump. Let's do that one more time. Start at the plain line, down to the grass line, back up to the plain line, make a hump, back up to the plain line, make another hump. Good job. M, man, Moving on to letter I. Letter I is also a plain line letter, so it starts on the plain line. So we're pointing to the plain line right here, going down to the grass line, and then add a dot. We're going to try that again. Starting at the plain line, going down to the grass line, add a dot. I, itch, I. Good job. Moving on to letter U. U is also a plain line letter, so it starts on the plain line. So we're going to start on our plain line, go down to our grass line, curve back up to the plain line, and back down to the grass line. So So let's try that again. Starting at the plane line, go down to the grass line, curve, back up to the plane line, and down to the grass line. U, up, Now we are going to write the letter C. Letter C is a plain line round letter. It starts on the plane line, and then you're going to fly backwards. So starting on the plane line, fly backwards, go down and around to the grass line. Same thing. Start at the plane line, fly backwards, go down and around to the grass line. And that is the letter C. C, cat, k. Moving on to letter O. O is a plain line round letter. So we start at the plane line, trace back and go down to the grass line like we would with C. And then around back up to the plane line. So starting from the plane line, going around to the grass line, and then around back up to the plane line. O, octopus, aw. Letter A is a plain line round letter. So we're going to form it kind of like we would with the C at the beginning. So we started our plane line. We're going to go back on the plane line and then down around on the grass line. And then we're going to go back up to the plane line and back down to the grass line. Okay, so let's try that again. We're pointing to the plane line, going back on the plane line, then down and around on the grass line, going back up to the plane line, and tracing down to the grass line. A, apple, ah. Letter G is a plain line round letter as well. So we're going to start at the plane line, trace back on the plane line, down and around, all the way back up to the plane line, and then we're going to go down past the grass line all the way to the worm line and make a curve. So let's try that again. Starting at the plane line, going around to the grass line and then around back up to the plane line, tracing back down to the grass line and then all the way to the worm line, little curve. G, game, G. Now we are going to do letter D. D is a plain line round letter. It starts on the plane line just like A and C. So here's our plane line. We're going to go back down and around to the grass line and all the way up to the skyline. Okay, let's try that again. Starting at the plane line, going back down to the grass line, all the way to the grass line, and then go all the way up to the skyline. D, dog, D. Now we are going to do letter S. Letter S is a plain line round letter just like A and C. So we're pointing to the plane line. We're going to track back and then curve in and then go back again towards the grass line. Let's try that again. Starting on the plane line, tracking back, curving in, going back on the grass line. S, snake, S. And we are back to reviewing our letter E and our R. E is a plain line round letter, and it starts below the plane line. Okay, so remember we talked about how E starts between the grass line and the plane line, so we're going to start right here, fly under the plane line, go back up to the plane line, curve around to the grass line, make our little curve. Let's try that again. Starting between the grass line and the plane line, flying with the plane line, going up to the plane line and curving to the grass line and then curve. E, ed, eh. Our last letter is letter R. We start at the plane line because it is a plain line letter, going down to the grass line, trace back up to the plane line and curve. Starting at the plane line, going down to the grass line, tracing up the plane line and curve. R, rat, Thank you so much for joining me for my review of handwriting skills in our Wilson Foundations. Good job, everybody.